North. John, he's from Car Drive. John, he's from Car Drive. In Slidell, right on the lake. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
John's in Folsom.
I live in Folsom, but I work out. I'm a guide out in the swamp. Oh, really? Slidell.
You work with Barry Dennis.
Oh, I know Barry.
Saw Barry.
Barry doesn't come out that much, but he's a fireman, man.
Who knows with Barry? I mean, I used to love the old place right there when it came off.
Well, that's why I started working with Neil Benson and Pearl River. But they bought them up and then they bought Black. 21.
Anybody?
Did they say where they're from?
Yeah. Which Carolina?
I got the listing on it.
North, okay.
A friend of mine, he's like, dude, I just want to sell it. How do they move on? Otherwise,
Right.
we don't have access.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Awesome. My name's Ranger Karen. I want to welcome you to the National Park Service Visitor Center here in the French Quarter. This is the home of two separate National Historical Parks. It's the French Quarter home of the Jean Lafitte National Historical Park and Reserve, which tells kind of the broad story of the history and culture and geography of South Louisiana. We have a number of sites that are outside of the city, and Visitor Center up front, which really focuses on the people of South Louisiana. And then this is also the home of the New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park, created by Congress because this is the city where jazz was born out of the merging of African and European musical cultures into something entirely new and something entirely American. It started here, spread up the Mississippi River out to the coast and around the world. And we do our little bit to keep the tradition alive and well. We bring in a lot of local musicians. We have concerts every day that we're open, Tuesday through Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And you can find us on our website, our schedule, yes.gov/jazz. So that's the parks. Thanks for coming out today. You all are in for a real treat. We got a real culture bearer of our New Orleans musical tradition here today. So give a warm welcome to Tim Laughlin Trio.
Thank you. All right. Here's a tune we're going to open with, a James P. Johnson tune from the 1920s called Old Fashioned Love. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Thank you, thank you. That was old-fashioned love. Oftentimes when I play small group like this or a small venue, I'll open it with a kind of a medium tempo tune instead of hitting you over the head with a barn burner. We'll do that next. Yeah. Yeah. So before we go on, I want to introduce these wonderful musicians helping me out here. On piano we have John Royan. John has, what year did you move here?
1975.
74, how? Yeah, and you played at Preservation Hall how many years? 25 years. I used to tour with him. And I called John my partner in crime on the road because he taught me how to travel as a musician, because he learned from the old musicians from Preservation Hall how to roll with the punches. If the flight's late or the flight's canceled, there's nothing you can do about it.
Alan Jaffe, the owner, used to say, I'm not paying you to play, I'm paying you to
That's right. So anyway, John and
airports all night long and all that.
John and I have been to Germany and Europe many times, and so it's good to play with him again. And on drums we have Doug Belote.
Yeah.
Doug, tell people a little bit about yourself.
I'm too embarrassed to tell them about who I played with because I don't want them to know.
Don't mention my name.
Yeah. No, I've been in New Orleans 30 years. I came from Lafayette. I moved to New Orleans to basically play with guys like this, so I didn't have to play Cajun music anymore. But yeah, and I've just been here ever since, you know. So.
All right. And he's one of the most in-demand drummers on the road and in the studio. You see, if you hear something in the movie, it's probably him.
Yeah, I do a lot of play a lot of records, and if you hear a Popeyes commercial or something like that, it's probably me playing.
Saturans.
Yeah. That's it.
Anyway, speaking of Cajun music, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
This is one we're going to do now. This is one written back in the 1920s by two important people in early New Orleans jazz, Louis Armstrong and his wife, Lil Hardin Armstrong. She was a piano player, and she was just as influential to Louis as King Oliver was. So there's a debate on who wrote what parts. So we're going to play the verse and the chorus to Struttin' with Some Barbecue. I think she wrote the verse and he wrote the.
I don't know about that either, because
Yeah.
she, if you listen to other things she wrote, like things like, we're talking amongst ourselves about it, you know, stuff that most of you don't even know about, but of course we're well versed in all of the kind of compositions that we played. He did one called Cafe Society, Stomp, and other things, and she was on those, and it seems that everything we thought she was on, she always goes to what we call the major seventh, which is. So she ends these melodies.
Ah,
And
okay.
that's something that in popular music of the day of the 20s, you didn't go on to a major seventh.
Uh-uh.
It just sounded long. And she always managed to do these compositions where she.
Okay.
So anytime I hear a major seventh and a thing that Louis.
Okay, good.
I'm
I've,
kind of
I've got a new argument then.
But what do I know?
Yeah.
I wasn't there, so.
All right, let's
speculate.
play it. Start on the verse.
Yeah, verse.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. right, we're going to get out of the key of F and play a beautiful tune. This is written back in the 1930s, I believe, this by a great piano player named U.B. Blake.
Oh.
And U.B. wrote for a lot of theater plays and things like that, and very popular back then. And this is one of his signature tunes that Benny Goodman got a hold of and kind of made it popular, and that's where I learned it from. So here's a beautiful tune called Memories of You. beautiful song, Memories of You. Right now, we're gonna pick it up a little bit and do a Jelly Roll Morton classic. The Jelly Roll was, yeah, there, there would be no,
He liked himself too.
but if it weren't for Jelly Roll Morton, there probably wouldn't be a Professor Longhair and James Booker. He was the first real cat, and he was also the first pretty much composer of jazz. He goes back to the Storyville district times, and he would write in such a way to where his piano playing would sound like a full band. And because if you compare them side to side, he recorded this next tune solo piano and with the band, and they sound very similar. So
First jazz arranger, really.
an arranger, yeah. Anyway, this is one that he wrote back in the 20s about a barber shop he used to hang out in Detroit, and the barber shop was called the Wolverine. So his the Wolverine Blues, and it's not a blues, but back in the day, blues was very popular, and people used to collect sheet music, as they still do today, just less of it. And anything with blues on it was very valuable. So guys would write songs and put blues, just for the title. And so this has nothing to do with the blues, but it's called the Wolverine Blues. You gonna do all three parts?
If you wish.
Yes, with the and we'll give.
Are we gonna do a G flat on the intro? Or you can-
No, just right into it.
Okay, great.
And then later on, we'll lead into Doug a little bit. All right? Rehearsal over.
Yeah.
All right, 2 in. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I didn't have it on the list, but the mood strikes me.
This is a, shall I preempt this one?
You already started. I stopped now.
If you didn't know about it, New Orleans was one of the first cities to have a legal red light district. Just above the French Quarter. The main street of the district was Basin Street, which everybody knows from district jazz. And that's where all the expensive houses were, and they had entertainment besides the entertainment. They had piano players. Jelly Roll Morton, as a young man, worked on Basin Street for all the expensive houses. And he wrote this when he was working there. He had a long residency of the old woman named Hilda Burke, and he wrote this and a number of other compositions while he was working for her in the house here. And a lot of these tunes that were early songs that Jelly Roll Morton wrote were things that had everything to do with local colloquialisms and things about the district. And if you knew about them, it was just
You might blush.
yeah, you might. For example, does anybody remember Kukla, Fran, and Ollie? Remember that? That's how I remember the little kid. You'd watch it. You'd hear this. That's when the credits was going. That's a number called the Naked Dance. Jelly Roll wrote that. That's when the girls would all come into the parlor naked. He would play that for them, and they had it on a puppet show. So yeah, if you don't know the history of it, it just sounds cute. Anyway, this one he wrote. This one he wrote is called The Pearls, and it basically, without getting it because we want to play the number, it's a strip song. He would play this for the girls to dance to entice the customers. And of course, when he did it then, it would be much slower than the way he played it with jazz numbers. Anyway, this one called The Pearls. All right.
You got first one. let's do You Can't Lose a Broken Heart.
Oh.
This is another James P. Johnson tune. This is one of my favorite melodies of all time. It's just, and if I had a voice, I would sing it, but the band doesn't let me sing anymore. Maybe when I'm an old man, older man. Yeah.
You get away with it.
Yeah. But this is a beautiful number called You Can't Lose a Broken Heart. And the two notables sang this back in the 30s, Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday. So if you go to YouTube, check it out. Yeah. Nice melody. Yeah. John, you feel like doing something for the?
Okay, yeah. We're just played one by a fellow by the name of James P. Johnson, who most of the public really don't know about. He was among other things, he was Fats Waller's teacher. Fats Waller was one of the greats back in the song that he wrote a tune about it called "The Carolina Shout," and I can't stress the importance of this song because when he wrote it, they didn't have recordings, but the piano roll had just been invented, the mechanical player piano, and it came out on a piano roll, and within a year, every piano player that wanted to get into this music knew this song, and even when I came up, this was the one that you had to play. And it's called "The Carolina Shout." Doug, you can catch this with me if you will.
Beautiful. All right, we're going to go to a man named Sidney Bechet, who's another pioneer, to call it. And he started on clarinet and switched over to soprano sax later. That's what he was more well known for. And he kind of escaped New Orleans in the 20s and went to Paris, France, and or all over France, but lived most of the rest of his life in Paris. And a lot of his music that he wrote had sort of a French vibe to it, and he became a big, big star. They gave him a funeral for pretty much royalty. The streets were packed, and he was that big. And we're going to do one of his tunes that he wrote later towards the end of his career in life, around 1957. And he died in Paris, of course. This is called Si tu vois ma mère, If You See My Mother. And this is a tune that can be heard in, what was it, Midnight in Paris, Woody Allen movie. Woody's a clarinet player. And he featured this, I think, 3 times in the movie. So, and I learned this years ago. So here's a beautiful tune called Si tu vois ma mère, If You See My Mother. It does, and that's for publishing. Lonesome and I Remember When. And it's just to make extra money. Yeah. Change the title.
You want the last eight or?
No, just right on it and 2 choruses. 1, 2, 3. I hurt myself on that last note. Let's see, how we do? We got a couple more, I think. Yeah, perfect. All right, this next tune is, yeah, let's skip one. This is one that was written by a man named Mitchell Parrish for a movie called New Orleans. The movie's pretty forgettable, and you could see it on Turner Movie Classics every now and then. But in the movie, it was featured Louis Armstrong and Billie Holiday once again, and it's been kind of a staple to the New Orleans bands. All the bands play it, and a very well-known piece for the locals, and it's called "Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans?" 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Before we play our last song, I'd like to let you know I forgot to bring CDs, but you can download some of my music from my website. Just go in there, and then it's real easy. It'll take you to Apple and all that. Just make sure you spell my name right on Google. Well, actually, Google will fix it too. You know? And I have I have 2 albums with drums and piano like this. You might enjoy listening to it. Anyway, before we play the next one, how about a nice hand for these guys? John Royan on piano, Doug Belote on drums, and since we're on a Louis tear, it was still in August. We're celebrating his birthday. We're going to do one that was written by Hoagie Carmichael, the same composer that wrote Stardust and Georgia on My Mind. He wrote this back in the 1930s, and Louis recorded this with his big band for Decca Records, and it's a lot of fun to play, called Jubilee. Right on. 1, 2, 1, 2, 8. Thank you, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for coming out to the New Orleans Jazz National Historical Park this afternoon. We really appreciate you. The visitor center will be open for 30 more minutes. We close at 4:30 if you want to explore, enjoy the air conditioning. We will be open again Tuesday morning at 9:30. Ranger talk at 10 o'clock, and we'll have the Arrowhead Jazz Band, which is our jazz rangers, playing at 3 o'clock on Tuesday. So hope you all have a great afternoon. One more time for the 10 o'clock.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all coming out.